So the limited run games showcase just wrapped up. However you feel about limited run games as a company when it comes to their physical products, I mean, I probably feel similar to you. They do announce new games. They do release digital versions of the game. So I was looking forward to this presentation because I knew it was going to be very retro focused. And indeed it was. Kicking things off, we had Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered getting a physical edition. This game is really good. I'm pretty sure I made a video on my channel about it. It was something that I, honestly, as a kid, I never got to play, but I always wanted to play because I didn't have a PC. And by the time it came out on PlayStation 1, like, I don't know, I just kind of lost my imagination on it. But the version on Switch is fantastic. The physical version will be available tomorrow to pick up if you want to do that. A Valas Collection was up next. I'm not really super into the Valas games. It's like a combination of like MSX, NES, Famicom, Genesis games in here. There's an import version already on that's like available, but it's like $70. I looked online. So I'm assuming this is going to be $40, which makes it cheaper. So if you're into Valas, you might want to pick that up. Rain World, I think it might have been Ryan World. 2024, I don't know what the hell this game was. It didn't appeal to me. Here's a cool announcement, though. A Fighting Force collection consisting of Fighting Force 1 and 2. Very unexpected. If you know anything about the history of Fighting Force, the first game in the franchise was almost going to be what Streets of Rage 4 was. It was a 3D beat-em-up game, but Sega decided against it. And I believe it was Activision was making the game, or was it Core? Might have been Core. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Core. Core went ahead and just made it its own sort of game, and they're kind of fun games, you know? It looks like the original versions of the game, which makes me wonder how the controls are going to be, because a lot of, you know, early 3D games didn't play all that great. But this was a cool announcement. It'll be coming out on Switch, PS5 in 2025. A new game that's being digitally and physically published by Limited Run Games was up next. It's called Rena. Comes out in fall of 2024. Looks all right. 2D platformer, interesting graphics, combat looks pretty cool. I don't know, unless it's just something tugging on my nostalgia, which we'll see later on in this video. You know, some of the 2D platformer stuff just kind of falls flat for me nowadays, just because I feel like there's so many classics you can play. But if you're looking for a new one, this one comes out in fall of 2024. Wolfenstein II, The New Blood for Nintendo Switch is getting a full physical release with no additional download required. Now, I reviewed this game way back in the day when it came out initially on the Switch. Pretty fun game, you know. Obviously it looks better on other platforms, but I definitely enjoyed my time with it when I played it. I didn't really care for the end sort of stuff, like not necessarily the ending itself, but like the final battle that takes place. I don't know, that was kind of a bit of a disappointment, but overall the game is really good. So to have it all physically on one cartridge, that's pretty cool. That'll be coming out in 2024. There was a Japanese game collection, like the name was in kanji. So like I don't know what this was. I'm sorry, but I just don't know what it was. So moving on. G.I. Joe, Wrath of Cobra time. Let's go. This looks great. This looks great. I love some old school 2D beat 'em ups like this. There's a whole renaissance of them happening, and I'm all for it. You know what? Throw my favorite franchises into a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. I'm going to like the game. It's getting a physical release. It'll be out in 2025. I was kind of hoping that was a 2024 game, but nice to see that confirmed for consoles such as Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. Pretty much every game that I'm talking about was announced for the Switch or PlayStation 5 unless otherwise stated. There are some Xbox ones in here as well, but they're kind of just sprinkled in. Assault Leonos 2 gets a physical release. Some of these games, it was kind of hard to know if like this was a new game announcement or just a game that was already out that is getting a physical release. Like I think I do a decent job of keeping up to date with everything, but some of these like just above my head. I didn't take any additional notes on this. I don't think there was a release date. I've never played these games, although I do know some people like them. There was a new 3D platformer game, at least I think it's new, all called Snow Bros at Wonderland, coming out in 2024 for PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Bomberman Adventure in terms of the gameplay, because you're like kicking snowballs around to do damage to enemies and stuff. I like this game. The frame rate looked a little bit eh. But like, I liked what this game was trying to do. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I'm putting that on my list. List of things to look out for. Gimmick 2 is coming out on all platforms in 2024. Of course, Mr. Gimmick just released on modern platforms pretty recently, so hey, sequels are always good. A game called C-Mash for PlayStation VR 2, which was evidently like a Dreamcast game that I have no clue existed. Like, the dude Josh who's hosting it was like, you guys know I'm a big fan of the Dreamcast, so this next game is really exciting for me. And I was like, cool, let's go. What is this? And then it was C-Mash. I don't know, man. It's getting a physical release for PlayStation VR 2 coming out in 2024. Next up, Penny's Big Breakaway is getting a physical edition. I do hope that the Switch version is indeed patched for the 60 frames. Initially, when the game came out, it was only at 30 frames, and it kind of took away for a lot of people's experience because, yes, kiddies, there is a difference between 30 frames and 60 frames. Kind of depends on the game, but in an action game, in a racing game, you're going to notice it quite a bit. But they have indeed added a 60 frames per second patch, so I should probably pick this up. You know, it's made by the people that made Sonic Mania. I like this style of game. It's a woman character. That's a little bit strange, a little bit woke, if you ask me. 2024. Then was a big announcement that actually leaked a little bit early. But now we have confirmation of it. We got to look at it. And it's coming out very soon. Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition is revealed. There are new graphics. There's new content. There's new stuff added. There's museum stuff. They have a redone soundtrack in this as well. This looks phenomenal, bro. Like, you could tell that like a lot of time and care went into this project. Because, like, there's a bunch of content in this game. Like, the game itself is already a classic, but, like, to be able to... I played this back in the day, but I couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. I don't remember nothing about it. So I'm really looking forward to playing this, though. But I gotta complain. They changed the lead character to a woman? Like, what the hell are we doing here with this forced... Oh, wait. She was a woman originally. Sorry. Get a little bit confused there. The game will be coming out on June 25th on all platforms digitally. A physical edition will be available on July 12th. So next week. A couple days. Like, that's pretty sick. Jay and Silent Bob Beat 'em Up revealed. Now, I know they did kind of a retro style one. This looks more like a modern style game. It's called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. The graphics, I don't know if I like them or not. Like, they kind of remind me a bit of Streets of Rage 4, but with like a Nickelodeon, like a late 90s Nickelodeon animation vibe. I don't know. It looks all right. I'm not the biggest. You would think that, like, I love those movies. Like, I like them, but, like, I don't have any sort of desire to go back and, like, watch them anytime soon. But, hey, this was a new game as far as I'm concerned, and it, you know, looks all right. And then Toxic Crusaders was up next. Of course, we've known about this game, but it's getting a physical edition as well. For me, this is cool because I watched the Toxic Crusaders cartoon as a kid before, like, I even knew there was movies about him. Like, that was actually a genius thing that they did back in the day. There was a RoboCop cartoon. They basically take mature-rated franchises or R-rated franchises and then make them into cartoons for kids. So, you know, this was right up my alley. I probably will pick up the physical for this because I do like it. Hitman Blood Money Reprisal is getting a physical edition in fall of 2024. This came out pretty recently on the Nintendo Switch, so, you know, that's cool. You know, not the biggest announcement, but whatever. Fear Effect from the PlayStation 1 is coming to modern platforms. This was it was actually a very successful game back in the day. But what the hell, man? They made the lead character a woman in this game too? Like, what? Oh, wait, she was a woman back in the day as well. I forgot. This game will be on PS5, PS4, Switch, and Steam. I will be checking this game out. I assume there's going to be some enhancements done because this was not in the Carbon Engine segment of the presentation, but I don't know. But regardless, I will be picking up Fear Effect. I loved this game back in the day, and I love this game now. Starship Troopers Extermination is getting a physical version. The only thing I wrote in my notes was RIP people streaming this event because Rock You Like a Hurricane is playing. That'll be coming out in summer of 2024. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop Remaster is getting a physical edition from Limited Run Games. And seriously, another freaking woman character? I am tired of this. Retro games do not have women lead characters. I'm just kidding. I don't think I've ever played this game before, which is odd because it looks like a game that I would enjoy. I know there's like a new mode in the game that like tones down the violence and stuff. We won't be doing that. We'll be playing the original cut with some better graphics. I do plan on picking this up. It'll be coming out in summer of 2024. This will be an all platforms game, so Xbox owners, you are not left out in the dark. Some updates for some previously announced games were shown. A game called Double Shake, which looks kind of like a PlayStation 1 platformer. Looks all right. 2025. Some game called Ghosts. There's a bunch of women in like a haunted house. I don't really know what was going on with this, but that's going to be a thing that comes out soon. And then this was good. Rugrats Adventure in Gameland. This shit looks tight as hell, bro. This animation is insane. The art it literally looks just like the cartoon. You could switch to like the 8-bit aesthetic because it was designed to run on an NES, but you could switch to the modern aesthetic whenever you want. I love Rugrats, okay? I love the show as a kid. It's still funny as an adult because there's lots of like stuff that kind of goes over your head as a kid, but you can appreciate it as an adult. It's very weird that I'm the same age as the parents in Rugrats were during the time of Rugrats, which is just scary to think about. But I love this. Coming to all platforms. It's coming soon. The physical edition pre-orders go up like in July, so I would assume that this is getting released any day now. And then was the freaking stupid MVG segment. Okay? Stupid MVG. Nobody likes him. He's bald, and he's British. These are all the Carbon Engine games that will be coming out. Gex Trilogy was shown once again. This will actually be coming out in fall of 2024, so all you Gex fans out there, I guess there's something for you. Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. There are just way too many Shantae games. I don't know what game this is. I'm assuming it's a Game Boy Advance game because it's called Shantae Advance. But like there are just too many Shantae games out there right now. Ninja 5.0 was also announced. I know this was a Game Boy Advance game that like people really seem to like. I've never played it before, but I've heard really good things about it. So that was kind of an interesting announcement. They kind of did tease it a bit like Ninja Gaiden, which I didn't really like because I was like, oh shit, is it the Ninja Gaiden trilogy that came out on the Super Nintendo? But no, it is Ninja 5.0. Clock Tower was shown next. I'm honestly really curious to see how people react to this game because if you've played Clock Tower, you know how Clock Tower plays, and this is just so different because it's a point and click game. It's a very slow game. Like I feel like most people have not played this game. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the reception is going to be to this. There has been fan translations done, of course, but this is the first official translation. Honestly, Scissor Man, who's the main bad guy in the game, he's just so weird. He's just like this tiny ass little dude with like these big ass scissors. Just like kick him in the head. Just like creep up behind him and then kick him in the head. He'll fall over. Those scissors probably weigh a lot. And, once again, this forced crap of a woman lead character. Retro games never had women as lead characters. Damn it. But yeah, fall 2024. It's got a cool looking collector's edition. I don't know. I'll probably just pick it up digitally. MVG, hook me up with a review copy. Along with this next game, Tumba Special Edition, original or remastered graphics. There's an art museum. There's interviews. Tons of stuff for fans of the Tumba. MVG, hook me up with a code for that. And to the surprise of, it got a release date. Tumba Special Edition will be coming out on August 1st. And Tumba 2 was also announced, which really shouldn't be a huge surprise to anyone. I feel like that was kind of a foregone conclusion. But hey, Tumba 2 has been announced. And then it was time for the final announcement. And honestly, I shouldn't have fallen for it, but I did, and it really pissed me off. It was teased like it was GoldenEye. And I was like, shit. That's awesome. Even though the controls suck on the Switch, like I'll still buy that. Like that's cool, but no, shitty ass Bubsy. There's Bubsy games that are coming out on modern platforms. MVG, you can go to hell for this. You can go to hell. The Carbon engine is your baby. You could have been like, hey, bro, nobody really likes Bubsy. I don't think we should use the engine for Bubsy. No one likes these games. No one likes the character. They weren't good back in the day. They're not good now. Like, I get it. It's tongue-in-cheek. But honestly, it kind of pissed me off. And it kind of soured the presentation for me a little bit, which is a shame because there was some really good stuff here. Fear Effect, that's super cool. Beyond Good and Evil 20th, that's super cool. G.I. Joe, confirmed to be coming to consoles, because I don't think that was confirmed quite yet. That was pretty cool. That Snow Bros Wonderland game looked pretty cool. Fighting Force Collection, that's pretty cool. But you end with Bubsy. Screw Bubsy, man. Bubsy sucks. All right, those are my thoughts on the limited run game showcase, going over all of the games for you. Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think of this showcase? I thought it was all right. You know, it was pretty solid. Nothing spectacular. The Direct was better. The Xbox showcase was better. But I'm going to say this was better than the State of Play. I'm sorry. That State of Play sucked ass. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.